Hi, I'm Nick DeHoyos from Lakeview High School.
And I'm Hannah King from Central High School.
Welcome to the first SAISD News of 2012.
That's right. The new year is here, and students are already hard at work.
SAISD News recently visited a couple of elementary classrooms to check out some learning activities.
We start at Bellaire Elementary, where students were working on math rotations. Third graders in Miss Black's class rotated through various games and activities designed to review math concepts they have learned so far this year. Students reviewed concepts such as measurement, capacity, weight, and time.
Rotations are important because they get hands-on activities. They love rotation. They think it's so much fun. A lot of them are games, hands-on crafts that you get to cut, things that is not just the lecture style where I'm standing up front and just droning on and on and on. And also I do it by ability grouping, so I get to have different groups come to me and I can work with them, and it's easy because it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 kids right there next to me, and I'm able to work with them individually, so I get to have that one-on-one time. That's really important.
We also caught up with students at Jacinto Elementary as they reviewed the difference between fact and opinion.
Fourth graders in Mrs. Price's class began by looking at different statements and deciding whether they were fact or opinion. They also discussed keywords that help determine whether something is fact or opinion. Students then worked in groups to write their own facts and opinions in a T-chart and then presented them to the whole class.
For us, it seems like an easy thing, you know, because we are older and we can look at it and say, oh yeah, well, we know that that's not true. But for kids, a lot of times they'll see something in the movies or they'll read something in a book and then they think, oh well, because I've read this, you know, this is the truth. They need to be able to take what we give them and be able to research it out and find out if this is true or not, and if it is fact, then they have the evidence there to back it up. It just makes for a better education for them because they're able to voice their opinions and to learn to speak what's on their mind and their heart and not just buy into, you know, what everybody wants them to buy into. They're able to speak for themselves.
Fifth graders in San Angelo recently participated in the 35th Annual Elementary Leadership Conference.
This yearly event brings together emerging student leaders from each elementary school. At the conference, students engaged in several group building and problem-solving activities designed to foster creative thinking and flexibility in group dynamics. Participants are chosen based on their demonstration of leadership among their peers in the areas of academic achievement, community service, extracurricular involvement, and citizenship within the learning community.
Well, we're hoping they'll learn how to work together. A lot of times your strong leaders like to take charge and just do it themselves. And when you put a group of leaders together, and we try not to put with another child from their school, and they learn other children within the district, and they learn to work together and try to work as a team. This was landing pad, and the group had to come together to build a landing pad that would, the spacecraft, which happened to be a raw egg, it would save that spacecraft to keep it from breaking up. We're hoping they can take these skills back to the classroom and do more group things in the classroom and be able to work with other kids instead of just taking charge and telling everybody we're going to do it this way.
Students at Rita Elementary recently became instrumental in discovering a water quality problem in their neighborhood.
Fifth graders in Mrs. Noble's class were participating in a project to monitor Sulphur Draw, a small creek that runs behind the school. Working with Christy Euchre from the Upper Colorado River Authority, students learned how to do field data observations and record and rate what they saw. During one of their observations, the students noticed something wrong with the water. They found dead fish and the smell of sewage and reported the problem to the city. The city responded and began investigating and working to replace a main sewage line.
The great thing about, I think the great thing educationally wise about this, although it's never great to find a problem with your creek, is that these kids were instrumental in it. And they discovered it because of their stewardship. They took care of this creek. They felt ownership. In fact, when the following weeks, as we followed up with them, and the city came out and discussed with them, you know, what went on here and what they're looking at, and they haven't identified all the problems, but we do know they're replacing a main line. They gave these students credit for this, And these kids, I know, will look at their environment, where they live, and their water totally differently. They have a vested interest in this. This is a great example of what we should all be doing. Looking around us, looking at our water, paying attention. That's the way we're going to find things and fix things. These kids are a product of that. They're going to pass this on. We need more programs like this, and I think it's a great model for lots of other communities of how this can work when you have kids looking at your river.
Well, that's great. Good job, students.
Well, that does it for this week's episode. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.